For years, we've watched a man climb to the highest seat of power in the world. Not despite his racism, but at times because of it. This isn't about political affiliation. This isn't about left or right. This is about right and wrong. This is about Mr. Donald Trump, a man whose life and presidency have been tainted by a string of racist actions, words, and policies. Just last week, under his administration, 59 white South African refugees, mostly African-speaking farmers, were flown into the US and granted asylum in record time. Please watch that video. It is mentioned now on the right-hand top of your screen. My name is Sandeep. I welcome to all of you. Today, I'm going to walk you through 10 moments that expose the deep, undeniable pattern of racism that follows Mr. Donald Trump like a shadow. And by the time we're done, if you're not furious, you weren't paying attention. 1. It started in the 1970s. Donald Trump's real estate company was sued by the US government for refusing to rent apartments to black tenants. Black applicants were marked with a secret code, C for colored, so that Trump's staff would know to reject them. And when asked about it, Trump didn't apologize. He fought the case aggressively, denied wrongdoing, and finally settled without admitting guilt. 2 years later, the Justice Department filed a second suit, accusing him of continuing discriminatory practices. The message was clear from the beginning. Segregation was business as usual. 2. In 1989, 5 black and Latino teenagers were falsely accused of raping a white jogger in Central Park. Trump didn't wait for facts. He didn't care about due process. He spent $85,000 on full-page newspaper ads demanding, "Bring back the death penalty." 5 innocent kids, and he wanted them executed. Years later, they were exonerated by DNA evidence and a confession. But did Trump apologize? Never. He still insists they're guilty. Imagine being wrongly imprisoned for over a decade, and the man who would become president still wants your head. 3. For years, Trump pushed the disgusting conspiracy theory that President Barack Obama wasn't born in the US. Let's not sugarcoat it. This was pure racial dog whistling. It wasn't about a birth certificate. It was about delegitimizing the first black president. Even after Obama released his documents, Trump kept fanning the flames. It was a smear campaign driven by one motive: make America doubt the black man in the White House. 4. Trump's presidential campaign began with one of the ugliest speeches in modern political history. When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're bringing drugs. They're bringing crime. They're rapists. That was his opener. It was an unfiltered view of how Trump sees Latino immigrants, as threats rather than human beings. No nuance, no policy, just racial slander against millions of hardworking immigrants. He did not just cross the line, he lit the line on fire and danced on it. Once elected, Trump wasted no time in targeting another group: Muslims. His infamous Muslim ban targeted people from several Muslim-majority countries, separating families and denying refugees safety. Trump called for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the US. His eventual travel ban, which targeted several Muslim-majority countries, was widely condemned as discriminatory and Islamophobic. When asked why he chose those countries, he said, "We all know what's going on." Yes, we do. We know exactly what was going on. A blanket policy of religious and racial discrimination dressed up as national security. When white supremacists marched in Charlottesville chanting "Jews will not replace us," and a woman was killed protesting them, the country looked to its president. And what did Trump say? There were very fine people on both sides. Fine people? Among Nazis and Klan flags? That moment wasn't just disgraceful, it was a betrayal of everything a leader is supposed to stand for. In 2019, Trump attacked 4 congresswomen of color, 3 of whom were born in the US, and told them to go back to the crime-infested countries they came from. That's the kind of thing you hear in hate rallies, not presidential tweets. The House of Representatives later passed a resolution condemning the comments as racist. This wasn't political disagreement, it was xenophobic filth, plain and simple. Multiple former employees of Trump casinos in the 1990s recalled him saying he didn't want black guys counting my money. Instead, he said he preferred guys that wear yarmulkes, insinuating that only certain races or ethnicities were trustworthy. He allegedly asked that black staff be removed from the casino floor during his visits. These statements reveal not only racial stereotyping, but clear instructions based on racial bias in his own businesses. In a meeting about immigration, Trump reportedly said, "Why are we having all these people from shithole countries come here?" He was talking about Haiti, about African nations, about black and brown people. He said we should get more immigrants from places like Norway instead. Do I even need to explain the racial implication there? And then came the hypocrisy that broke whatever mask he was still wearing. While bashing black immigrants from Africa and the Caribbean, Trump publicly expressed concern for white farmers in South Africa, alleging they were being oppressed. It wasn't based on credible data, it was based on a white nationalist talking point. When black refugees flee danger, he slams the door. But when white landowners are falsely said to be under threat, he demands justice. That's not compassion, that's racial bias, raw and unfiltered. And so here we are. 10 events. There are many, though, that form a pattern so obvious, only the willfully blind could deny it. And yet millions still chant his name, fly his flags and call this racism fake news. But it's not fake. It's real. It's documented. It's lived by millions who felt the sting of discrimination empowered by this man. This isn't just about Trump. It's about what kind of country cheers for this kind of hate. We can't keep calling it controversial. We need to call it what it is. A legacy of bigotry masquerading as politics. And if we stay silent now, if we choose comfort over confrontation, we become complicit too. Enough is enough. Thanks for watching.